Potential pathway for Tirzepatide insurance coverage. How can you get Zepbound covered by your insurance? And also Zepbound pricing changes. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 108 pounds the last 2.5 years of being on Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Tirzepatide compound. And on today's episode, I saw an article. So I require and demand of myself to be factually accurate. And an article, it's not actually an article. It was a source on TikTok. So cite the source. That's my source. His name is Bourbon RX. He's a nurse practitioner on TikTok, but a reputable one. And I followed him for years now. And so he had mentioned this component about Zepbound insurance coverage. If you have lost your insurance coverage through CVS Caremark, not CVS Pharmacy, but CVS Caremark, the PBM, he had mentioned, and it led me to some digging, so he was the source, the genesis of this, a potential pathway to get Zepbound insurance coverage. With Caremark PBM, if they did stop covering Zepbound on July 1st, and effective July 1st, you could then have WEGOVY. Well, for many people, they have an intolerance to WEGOVY. There's different side effects, history of failure with it, because it is documented that semaglutide WEGOVY has less effects than Zepbound, Tirzepatide. And so making that transition is somewhat of a stair step down. If people are on, but I want to give a caveat to that before I kind of launch into that, because I don't want to be henny penny. We are always positive in terms of solutions, of like the solution will come, and not being fear-based in our decision making with these things, because GLP-1s changed so much. Yesterday's episode, check it out, of all the new upcoming pipeline of GLP-1s. So with that, Bourbon RX had mentioned that Mounjaro, that there was kind of a loophole to get Mounjaro, which Mounjaro and Zepbound are the same thing. Same thing, same doses, same manufacturer, but Mounjaro typically through Caremark was only prescribed for type 2 diabetics. It is now seemingly, there is the off-label component, which had been previously prescribed for Mounjaro, previously, but then all these rules came that you have to have type 2 diabetes to get that for the insurance component of it. So now it's seemingly, and I'm going to cite my source on this, it's Joseph Zucky, and I'll put the link down below so you can investigate, of course, yourself, because this is hearsay right now, but I want to give hope, because I know so many of you are bummed about the loss of Zepbound insurance. And for Caremark Zepbound patients, Caremark CVS, if this is a pathway for you potentially to get coverage, we've got that. I'm also going to talk in today's show too about the price drop too with Zepbound pricing, and that's exciting as well. So let's go in. So this Mr. Zucky says in his web posting that the provider still must initiate prior authorization for Zepbound. He spoke extensive with Caremark's PA, the prior authorization questions set, and speaking with their support team, I've discovered a confusing and counterintuitive workaround. He's been seeing immediate denials for Zepbound formulary exemptions requests for July 1st, even for patients who have histories of documented failure or intolerance to WEGOVY. So here's the step-by-step component of it. Here's the pathway for patients to get coverage, but it still requires the provider to request Mounjaro, not Zepbound. So number one, the provider must still initiate prior authorization for Zepbound. The form asks the patient can be treated for the preferred formulary alternative, which is WEGOVY. Note that if you and your provider determine WEGOVY is suitable, then they do not need to do the prior authorization at this time, since original Zepbound prior authorization carried over to WEGOVY. If WEGOVY is not suitable, then the provider must state no, and then provide clinical documentation of why. Caremark requires specific chart notes and documentation showcasing inadequate treatment response, intolerance, or contraindications for WEGOVY. Number three, the form then asks if the patient can be treated for a secondary alternative, Mounjaro, by answering yes. And a new set of question appears for weight management, not type 2 diabetes. After following these steps, he has now discovered successfully gotten 10 patients approved for Mounjaro for weight management so far, allowing them to stay on Tirzepatide. because Mounjaro and Zepbound are the same. They're just different FDA approvals. Zepbound is for sleep apnea and for weight management, and Mounjaro is FDA approved for type 2 diabetes. Same dosage, same manufacturer, same everything. So this is the frustrating part. Many of you know Mounjaro is the exact same ingredient as Zepbound. It's only FDA approved for type 2 diabetes. Caremark has created a system where they essentially are approving Mounjaro for off-label use for weight loss while denying the officially approved brand, Zepbound. The likely reason for this convoluted process comes down to money. Mr. Zeki continues, it's probable that Caremark has more favorable rebate agreement with Mounjaro. And has been on the market for longer. At the end of the day, this is a win. Mounjaro is the exact same medication, same injection, same dose. The workaround is not a solution. It is frustrating, insufficient system that forces providers to spend hours navigating non-obvious process while patients get left to the state of stress and anxiety. The entire situation created by Caremark has led to unnecessary paperwork, confusion, and distress for the very people they're supposed to be serving. So talk to your healthcare provider. Remember the WEGOVY requirement. It seems that to be eligible for the Mounjaro exception, you still need documented clinical reason why WEGOVY is not appropriate for you. You've tried it, had bad side effects, medical contraindications. This is not a guarantee because it's a new process. And I think that's the most important takeaway of this too, is I wanted to give some solutions and some hope. I would not put all my eggs in this basket. There's still more solutions coming too. If this doesn't work, or like, this is where it's frustrating. But hello. Let's go back 2.5 years ago when I started this medication. It's been frustrating every single week in the GLP-1 community. There is always something. And so I really want to encourage you that this may be a solution and it may not be for you. I do want to take a brief pause and talk about Prime Day still going on. It still goes on until Friday. Today's July 10th and tomorrow July 11th, and it will close on July 11th. There's some great deals to save money. We've been talking about spending money. Let's talk about saving money. In terms of our health, saving money, one of the best things I have done for my health and also to save money this week is actually BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. I am obsessed with their magnesium because it has 7 types of magnesium in it. It helps with healthy bone functions. It helps with sleep, restful, peaceful sleep. I used to, prior to taking BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough, take a magnesium with 1 type of magnesium. This has 7, and it is massively on sale today, 30% off for Magnesium Breakthrough. Their masszymes, which is digestive enzymes, which help with bloating and gas, regularity, 35% off. Like, if you wanted to try some of these, their probiotic, if you've been wanting one of their probiotics, their probiotic breakthrough is exceptional. It's my favorite probiotic. It does not have to be refrigerated. Their top-notch quality testing that they do on all of their products, their label information, the testing and rigorousness that they do for the ingredients in which they have, bar none. I see so many, like I've been looking on Amazon, and for my own opinion, this is not BIOptimizer saying this, but my own opinion, I saw so many on the market. I'm like, that is garbage. And I know it's garbage because I've tested and I've tried and things like that. BIOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough for me was such a game changer. In terms of my sleep, I was having such gnarly sleep of waking up in the middle of the night, and then I wasn't well rested and I wasn't sleeping long enough. After switching over to this, I take it every night. It helps with recovery too. So with my lifting, because I do lifting, particularly in general for health and wellness, but with GLP-1 weight loss for muscle mass recovery, lifting is so incredibly important. And that muscle recovery with it as well, in addition to helping me, I don't have constipation. I don't have constipation, literally because BIOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. Some of y'all were telling me my code wasn't working, and some of y'all were telling me my code was working. So I'm gonna give you my code with a caveat. I'm not sure. Use my Amazon link down in the description. Please use my link in the description. You can use, when you check out, it's at the very end, it says like promo codes and gift cards, and it's a promo code. So put Countess, my name, COUNTESS, in that area, and then it should give you a discount code at the very, very end for some additional savings. If not, if the code doesn't work, the 30% off, like one of my dear friends, hopefully she's watching this, we were texting back and forth, and she's like, this is such a great price. She ended up getting like 3 or 4 bottles. I ended up getting 5. I was like, I don't want the mental payload of like, I said medication. Do I have my supplement? And obviously before taking any supplement, talk to your own healthcare provider. I'm not a healthcare provider. None of the information in this video is medical advice. It's simply my experience, strength, and hope. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Shop and run all of my Amazon Prime Day deals down on my Amazon list. In particular, this is the best deal run and get them. And if you've been on the fence, I highly, highly, highly recommend the masszymes digestive enzymes for bloating, gas, helping with nutrient absorption, helping with nutrient absorption, and also with, for me, having an increased protein diet. It's been very, very beneficial. And I take that typically with my lunch. Okay, let's go over to our price increase amount. So for Lilly is to offered approved doses, and this came out on June 16th, and I've been talking about it, but it just got released. Like, it's now actually active live on the market. If you were having, I'm worried my mic's messed up, so I'm just gonna hold it right here. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully I didn't just blow out people's eardrums. With the addition of 12.5 milligrams and 15 milligrams in vials of approved Zepbound doses is available for single dose vials for $4.99 a month. I know for many of you, even my Caremark buddies, maybe you've been paying $25 a month. And so to go from $25 a month to $4.99 a month, like, that's insane. You're like, I can't do that. But I do want to give us different pathways for options to be able to continue to take this medication, which the new study came out. It was like 50 to 70% of people stopped taking GLP-1s after the first year. No wonder. Like, who has time for all of this paperwork with Caremark and your healthcare provider and the expense? And it's a lot of hoops to jump through for our health, and acknowledging that it's exhausting at times. Like, literally, I have my own stuff, my own stuff going on. I had mentioned in another video too, by the way, about my own thyroid and my hypothyroidism, which I've had for a while. And I've been having some issues with that. And anyways, that's not because of GLP-1 medication. The black box warning on GLP-1 medication is a familial genetic thyroid cancer. And it was also, by the way, many people in the comments were like, and it was in rats. It was in rats. So keeping that in mind, people hear thyroid cancer. No, I have a predisposition to thyroid issues. So that when I mentioned that my thyroid's been wacky, that I want to make sure I'm totally clear on that. So this price point issue, this I will also cite my source down below. It's from investor.lilly.com. Is talking about the 12.5 milligram and 15 milligram vials that are single dose that come out July 7th. And the shipments begin in early August. So you can get them on July 7th, but the shipment part of it is early August. The doses, every strength of Zepbound will be available for $4.99. So if you're getting 12.5 milligrams, 15 milligrams, and it's $3.49 for the starter dose, the beginning one, 2.5 milligrams. It's valid with, it's eligible with adults with obesity and valid prescription regardless of your insurance because you're self-paying. So with that, one of the things, and I'm not sure if it's in here or not, but it's off the top of my head, with Zepbound, with these vials, you have to reorder every 45 days. If you don't, the payment is not $4.99. It skyrockets to over $1,000 a month. So you have to order every 45 days. So just keeping that in mind, or else the price changes on it with that price. Because you know why they're doing that? They don't want to discourage people to like get like 15 milligrams and then like extend the dose out. You see what I'm saying? Which is why they're doing that. The other component in it is the single vial doses also don't have, from my understanding, and I don't have my source to cite on this. No, I do. No, I don't. I don't have a reputable source that I can cite. It's off the top of my head, so please fact check me. But I'm pretty sure that there's not the preservatives in it the way the other ones are. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right. So the bottom line is you can't like double dip in it, and like you got to use it the way that it's intended. The way that it's intended, it's not meant because of the single doses in there with the preservatives, is my understanding of that. Again, fact check me on, but that's what I have been hearing. In Eli Lilly's release here, they do say it's $4.99 for the first refill, and then refills made within 45 days continue to get that with it. And then it says, it talks a little, no, I thought I was going to go talk about, it's over $1,000. It's like $1,049, something like that, if you don't do it within that 45-day refill window. So that's also something to think about too. I know that's not helpful for people who've been on insurance with like Caremark, where you're like, it's 25 bucks. I could afford 25 bucks a month. I know that's very frustrating. And so I want to encourage you, keep fighting the fight. It is frustrating, and I want to validate that. This is really, really frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that insurance companies, when they're seeing the benefits, we've talked about the 20% reduction in heart disease, how it helps with sleep apnea, of course, with our blood sugars for blood panels, and for our type 2 diabetes brothers and sisters, and like just the whole gamut of how helpful it is to be able to go from morbid obesity to not, to be able to go from not lifting to being able to do stuff like this. Um, that to me, GLP-1s are life-saving. And so it's egregious what's happening right now, and it makes me frustrated. But, comma, there are solutions. And I want to encourage you, every week something new happens with GLP-1s. If you didn't see yesterday's episode, it was so good. Please go watch it. It's talking about the new pipeline of it and how with the new pipeline it makes more competition. You know what happens with more competition? Prices go down, and it's going to change the insurance industry with this too, in addition to the pricing. So I want to encourage you on that note as well. Like, relief is coming. It may be a couple of months here for you, but maybe it won't be. Maybe tomorrow new stuff comes out. Literally, I've seen it over and over and over and over again of where things are changing. For our Weight Watchers folks, there was a new article on that too. This is what I'm saying about, like, stuff happens every day. I'll report out. Well, do I have it? Yeah, as on Weight Watchers, names new medical chief, and they plan to offer menopause therapy and support. See what I'm saying? Like, stuff shifts every day. So Weight Watchers is entering the menopause therapy arena as well in the midst of their bankruptcy. So I wanted to share that too. Like, it's an interesting time to be alive. I know for some of you it's frustrating. However, solutions keep coming. Keep seeking, keep looking, keep knocking. You're going to get the answers. And of course, in our free encouragement group, we're talking a lot about this too, particularly how at the end, the Count just posted an article in the free group. Go to countessofshopping.com/group. At the, to post an article about SEMAGLUTIDE, WEGOVY, coming out in pill format very soon. So that's exciting. I forget, very soon, let me preface he put in the article, was talking about that in the group too. So make sure you go to our free encouragement group for daily encouragement as well, and for up-to-date information too. So, and definitely check out the Amazon Prime sale for BIOptimizers. Their magnesium breakthrough and masszymes have been such a game changer for me. I highly, highly, highly recommend. The magnesium, for me, that is like a non-negotiable. That is absolutely, because it affects so much bones, it affects sleep, regularity with poops, and also aiding in muscle recovery. So I'm like, oh my gosh, with 7 types of magnesium, yes, queen. My beautiful friends, our emoji of the today is going to be a palm tree, because I wish to be by a pool, and I'm not. It's like crazy weather here, and my dogs are covered in mud. If you saw on my Countess of Shopping Instagram story, Wilma was covered in mud, and her little white paws and white nose was completely muddy. So I'd like to have a palm tree by the beach, but I'm not right now. So palm trees are emoji of the day. I do emojis of the day to get to know you better because I care. And our accountability question: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? My sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life is delicious. I love you guys so super much. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, guys.